How do you communicate to your family employees on the homestead here, or on the farm, or at the dairy? And it's jumping around there on me. That wasn't supposed to go fast. I forgot to put the timeout on that. But hey, like I said, share it out. It's a good opportunity for everyone to share it while I'm doing roll call, to go ahead and share this out and get the information out there to other people as well. All righty. I guess the first thing I got to do with everyone checking in is go do a high count and see who's all in the house. Let's see. We go back, roll up to the top here, and we got Michelle P. was the first one in here, followed by Kaylin Strain. And Michelle, no, I did not accidentally give you a blue wrench. You've had a blue wrench for a while because I trust you. Because you gave Scott at Hidden Valley a load of my brother from another mother. And Al's coughing up a lung there in the background. All right. Let's see. Backwoods Laws here. Carol Fishes and Lowe's Life. Dustin, that's Courtney's husband. Everybody's chit-chatting. Michigan Daffodil. Teresa, Stringfield Ridge Farm. And Built on the Rock Homestead, another cool channel. And of course, the premier moderator, Kathy, North Star Prepsteader. Maccabeus Everyday Survival. WD Glock and Roll. Yeah, make sure I don't catch anybody. Everybody's chit-chat. Klingon Princess is in the house. Shady Hill Homestead. Tim Fergal, another person from Idaho, in the house. Albany Mountain Homestead. And I am caught up. Woohoo!
Got Albany Mountain?
Yep, got Albany Mountain. And
I'm trying to read it all.
Yeah, I got a message here on the side. Just a second, I can click on that. Okay. Oh, I see. It's not going to the groups. Okay. I just got a message that some comments can't post on some destinations. And since Courtney just made me an administrator on hers, I haven't loaded it in. So if anybody does go over there, I can't. Anyways, nothing for me to worry about. Yeah. All righty. So, all right. Tonight, if you can't tell, we're talking communications. And so I want to talk a little bit about, before I get into this, I don't have any slides or pictures on ham radio, specifically because if you have a large homestead, farm, dairy, whatever you have, and you have employees, you cannot use ham radio for business. That is a big no-no. Slap on the hand fine. Okay, so I'm not even going to talk. That's all I'm going to talk about it. If you don't have employees, you can't get your ham radio license, and you know all about it. It's not that hard. 35 questions out of a pool of 180 questions, and they just pull 35.
Oh,
I think you got to get 31 out of 35 questions right to pass the test. I got 11-year-old Boy Scouts to pass the test. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a slip over here. Dave, all right, we'll bring that up here later, Dave.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up before I forgot it.
Okay, all right, so let's go over here to this. Okay, so we're going to move on from sharing it. Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Yes. All right. So let's jump in the Wayback Machine with Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Back to the days of Radio Shack and Tandy Corporation. I actually had one of these set up, and we go to the next one because it's the same. It's just more opening up of it. It came in the box. I had it. In fact, I still have the box upstairs in California in the shop upstairs with one of the units in it.
Right, and it's still made in America, folks.
And this is made by Archer. And back there on my parents' property, there were two houses out on the property and a barn. So one of the base unit in my mom's house. One of the units went in the barn. The other one went in my grandmother's house up front. And the third one went out in the tree fort. And we had a 7-story tree fort, taking up 3 trees. We were busy boys. But yeah, that way my mom could call us and say, hey, dinner's ready. Get out of the, come on down or wherever. Or call down to my dad in the barn or whatever. But it was a way to, without sticking her head outside and screaming her, as she say, screaming my bloody head off to get your guys' attention. A way to get us in the house. And guess what? Yes.
I'm posting this in private chat in response to what Backwoods Law just posted out in the comments, so people can understand what he's referring to.
Okay.
So if you just want to copy and paste it.
I'll get to that when we get to it. I'll remember that there. Because I don't want to bring it up until I get into the GMRS stuff. Now, I know there's some things on that, but I'm not sure things are changing so fast. They may have changed a little bit more. All right, so this picture here, they are still making new units that you can pick who you're going to talk to and stuff like that on them, and you can set them up. You hardwire it. This is hardwired, so you can still run hardwired systems today. In fact, there's some really cool hardwired systems that are even have like a bullhorn. If you have a big barn or a shop out there or noise and stuff, you can get one of these speakers on and say, hey, get in the house. Dinner's ready. And so they even have some that have lights that come on and stuff to alert people. And they even have fancy wireless ones, wired and wireless ones you can get at the orange store.
Yep.
The orange store.
Okay.
This was part of the picture, and I just wanted to put it up there. But yeah. But it seems to be going a lot to wireless systems. And some of the wireless systems are pretty cool. And with some of these wireless systems, you can talk individually. There's a button here that says group to talk to everybody. You can monitor a certain one, just kind of turn it on the monitor and you listen to see what's going on in the room so you can hear what your kids are up to. Gee, Dave, that kind of sounds like big government, doesn't it?
I see. I'm blind in 2 eyes and can't hear out the other ones. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Oh, Cecilia's in the house now. That's Raven Cat Homestead. All right, and but yeah, some of these new ones, have a lot of features on them. They're pretty cool. This is not a cordless phone for the house, folks. Somebody has bought a lot of stuff up, and they've taken the old cordless phones, molds and stuff, and they're turning out. And this is not the only company doing it. They're turning out intercom phones. They're not connected up to the phone system. You can call one. You can call them all. That's the way they work, just like the other ones. And these are something they can has a clip, and they can wear on their belts and stuff. Thank you, Kathy, for putting that in there. So yeah, there's
Hey, Maribeth.
When I looked at wireless for earlier today, pulling up some of these photos compared to when I was looking at stuff a couple of years ago for my wife and I were trying to figure out, it's totally exploded with the options you have now. And this is that same company. Basically, it shows one of the things. This is from one of their ads showing you can run things around. You can listen to things going on, different groups all around, and they're up. Ranges a mile. One of them is a mile. The other one's a mile and a half. I think this is the mile and a half one. Now, if you're in the new, I'm wired going on. I'm wired with wireless.
Hey, Michelle.
And so basically what this is when you can also hook up to your smartphones and integrate your smartphones into it, so they become part of it for basically like a Bluetooth setup where you can hit somebody and it'll buzz their phone to whatever, like a walkie-talkie. And so, yeah, there's more and more that are being hooked up to cell phones. Now, I wish I had that cell phone on the left again.
The old Nokias.
Yes.
Virtually bulletproof. Virtually. Several
Yeah.
channels have proven they're not bulletproof, but, pretty damn
Almost.
Yeah, they still make
figuratively speaking, they're bulletproof.
They still make them in South Korea, but unfortunately can't use them in America.
Yeah. All right. So with those cell phones, there's another thing out there, and
I'll be right back.
Steve at Corsair Trainers did a little review on this. The GoTenna. This particular one here is called the GoTenna Mesh. And basically what you can do is you link it to the Bluetooth on your cell phone, and the cell system can be totally down. You could be out in the middle of the desert where there are no cell towers. And if everybody in your group has one of these linked to their cell phones, your cell phone becomes like a walkie-talkie. And you can set it up so that if somebody else out there has the GoTenna Mesh, you can piggyback and expand the network out there.
Yeah, so you can set it up as a repeater.
Mm-hmm.
So you can virtually double or even triple the range using the proper amount of repeaters.
Yep. So it's a cool system, a bit pricey for me, but in a total down system, hey, it's a way to keep communicating, and especially where I'm in a small town or whatever, or if you're out on a big farm or a couple 100-acre farm or whatever. Yeah, it's a way to just set them around, and they just everyone networks off them when they get to them. All right, and so GoTenna has 4 different styles: the V1, the Mesh, the Pro, the
Thank
Pro
you, Cappy.
X. Yes, there it is. Yeah, so there's the link to Steve at Corsair Trainers video. All right, now the next. Now, some companies, as far as, I'm saying companies, all sorts of companies, but I got this one off of one about, I was Googling communications on a farm / dairy. Excuse me. And this is one of the pictures that came up for it, where they have a base station in the office, a base unit here, and then all the employees get a radio. And they can call employees individually. They can call, 1, 2, and 3, and 8, and not the others. So they can plug in who they can call, or they can just broadcast to everybody. All right, we got a problem. All hands on deck. Everybody to the milk barn. So this is another thing for those that have businesses that might need it, or you got a lot of grandkids running around, or kids and grandkids and nieces, nephews, whatever. You can stick a radio on everybody and keep track of them. And it's just the same thing, only it's a little bit different variant of it.
It's a fully digital system.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is basically just a walkie-talkie. A point radio. But they put a big press to talk. Ooh, it's got a big press to talk. I can press to talk on it.
Hey, that's for people like me who can't see very well.
Yeah. Or ones who fumble on the buttons on the side. But since we're into regular radios now, there are a boatload of regular radios out there that are FRS or FRS and GMRS set up, and Dave has one there in his hand. And there's the radios. The FRS is Family Radio Service. GMRS is General Mobile Radio Service. Now, GMRS was originally supposed to be for businesses. They just had to get a free license it for their business, and they could use those extra frequencies. Sort of like getting a CB license or whatever, real easy. but there's so many of the companies, I guess, are putting out the stuff, and they're changing rules. I know they started changing the rules on GMRS, saying that you several years ago that you if you weren't using the high-powered base station, so long as you're using the channels that they were sticking on the FRS radios that went above the FRS frequencies, you didn't need a license for it. So what Backwoods Law put out there about it being totally free, I mean, what is that? You don't need a license at all on it. I'm not sure if that's totally true, because I still think if you have the
read private.
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're right here. It says it says license, and it may be the wattage you're using makes it whether or not you need to have a license or not. Because I know several of the people in the CERT program back home, there were 3 of them that got their license for GMRS and got the high wattage output GMRS for areas in the city, so they could talk better to their teams when their teams were out running around doing rescue stuff.
And Ryder Dust.
I'm back.
Ryder Dust is in the house. Okay.
So Maccabeus.
Yeah, Maccabeus was in here earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just seen him.
Yeah. He wasn't. He was just listening. He wasn't talking much since the beginning.
Okay.
So, but if you can go, anything that you pick up at Home Depot, Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, Lowe's, as far as being the FRS, GMRS, those radios you don't need licenses for currently. Whether or not they put licenses back on the certain frequencies that are GMRS, that's a whole other story.
That's why I listed the frequencies in private chat. Yeah. Those are the ones you have to have a license for.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, they started dropping those actually 3 years ago.
That is as of today.
Today? Oh, you looked that one up?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in that case, let me see if I can grab that. And like I said, GMRS stuff is changing constantly, because you have some people that want to make it totally open in the government and others that don't. And wrong one. Dang it. Let me go back to it. I used the wrong keyboard to highlight it. Control C. Oops. Yeah. Oops. It wasn't highlighting anything. There we go. Okay. There it goes. All right. So, but Midland is probably one of your big ones, and most reliable ones. And all the ones I have, and I have a bunch of different brands. My Midlands are my favorite because they hold up at scout camp with the scouts, and if they can hold up with scouts, they're pretty tough. Now, what's interesting is, so these are the handhelds. This here is a base station unit that actually has an external antenna you hook onto it, so you get a lot more range. You can also get these. It can also be mounted into trucks and vehicles as well, so they can use those without having to use the handheld. Let me drop back down here. There we go. Okay, yeah. Now, Midland also makes this little cool camp base radio, which has FRS, GMRS, AM, and FM on it. So you can actually listen to other, to news as well.
Springfield had a question.
Yeah, what is that called? What is what called? Well, the one I have up here right now, or go back one. This one here. Oh, the base of 2 handsets. Okay, this is these are basically cover both the FRS, Family Radio Service frequencies, and the GMRS radio frequency. So this is sort of like a base station, or a mobile mounted unit, like you see, like the old CBs you mount in the trucks, that type of thing.
For those wanting to get that Midland base station, I'm going to post it so Gil can drop it over to you. I just found it, and it's relatively inexpensive. It's less than $100 for that one that's sitting on that Jeep.
for the base station here. Okay, so I got almost went through the wrong keyboard again. Control C, V. There we go. And yeah, so I've had this for about 10 years, the one I have, and I was using it basically for CERT operations. And those that have missed out on all my stuff talking about CERT, CERT is Community Emergency
Frozen
Community Emergency Response Team. All right, so.
Oh, I got back ordered for my yellow notebook. It's finally coming in after 1 year ordering it.
Oh, wow. I don't know what happened because I ordered a second one for my wife about 3 weeks ago, and she said she got it. All right, so this is your. I mean, what everyone pictures in their mind when they talk about CB radios and trucks and stuff. Dave, about how old is this?
Well, that model is well over 30 years old.
Yeah. And if you have one of these
model back when I started driving truck back in 1989.
Yeah. So if you have one of these, it's still good. It'll still work.
And if you get it peaked and tweaked, she'll push about 28 watts right out the back end of that radio. You'll be talking all over the place.
Yeah. And this is another one, a little bit slimmer design. 15 years old, you said?
Approximately.
Yeah. But as you can see, it's mounted under the cabinet, and it looks like it's in a kitchen. So it's something you can have if you want to just, talk to people around and stuff. And.
Aw, CB.
All right. And they come up all sorts of designs and stuff for them and everything else for the handhelds. But when I was growing up, we had different ones. We had the little toy base station. I had that for years and years, and it had twice the output of the handheld walkie-talkies. But I mean, we were living in Tahunga when I got it for Christmas, so that was 67, 68. I got it. Is when I got the little gray. It was a little gray and tan base station, and everybody in the neighborhood that year got walkie-talkies, and so we were all running around the neighborhood doing our war games with walkie-talkies and stuff.
Hey, Dustin, send me a picture of those galaxies. I want to see which ones you got. Just curious.
Cool. And so, yeah. But now they're making them for Nerf. So they're playing with nice soft stuff while we were playing with BBs. We never put anybody's eye out, though.
Okay, before you go any further, if you're looking to get a CB for local or otherwise reaching out and touching people, Courtney's husband actually mentioned the name of a company that I highly recommend. I've owned one. I regret selling it immensely. It was a Galaxy 2950, and they also make a 2970. With the proper add-in piece, they will cover everything from, 10 megahertz all the way up to 32 megahertz, which puts you into military frequencies. I would highly recommend you never talk on those frequencies, but the radio has a very wide range, and it also has upper and lower sideband, AM, FM, and those who run CBs will understand all that stuff. It is a very high-powered radio when properly tuned, and I would recommend if you can find one and get one, do so. It will not let you down. Just keep it stored in a EMP-proof bag.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff CB-wise that you find at garage sales and estate sales where I got my cell phone. Why do I need a CB? I'm going to get rid of what mom and dad had or grandpa and grandpa had. So, all right, moving on here. Okay, Bullfang, non-ham radio here, guys. This is I think it's like 16 channels you can choose from. or more. And then those are preset, and then there's programmable stuff. And anyways, all right, you got 20 of them here for $166. That's $8.35 each. I mean, you use half of them, keep the others as spares whenever someone breaks one at that, for that price.
Or recharges.
Don't hurt yourself, Dustin.
So yeah, so I mean, this is on Amazon. This is the Amazon price for, and if you put in Bofang BF888S.
He froze again.
I froze again. You're gonna find it. I mean, this is a group. If you have a group, this is great for it. If you're putting on a the homesteading get-togethers and stuff and everything else, where you got people running around trying to keep track of what everybody's doing and stuff out there, make it run smoothly. This is just the thing for something like that.
And, I'm kind of glad we're not doing what they were talking about doing on Wednesday evening, with you freezing all the time. I mean, there wouldn't be a single sober person here tonight.
Well, it all depends what you're drinking. It can be water.
Just as I say it, Backwood Law says it.
Yeah.
Or lemonade. Of course, it's because it's the lemony green color. You can't see it; it kind of disappears.
Yeah, that special kind of lemonade.
All right, there's the link, folks. There's the link to this in case there's anybody's interested in it.
Well, we know Caitlin's sober.
Me too.
Me 3.
I only have coffee.
I don't even have that. I got lemonade, milk, and water. All right, so
tranquilizers.
This is what you get in that one. I just to point this out. I love Bofang, but I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, other than the fact that I like their stuff. This is what comes in. So you're getting 20 of these: charger, battery, unit, the belt clip that you can put on or not, a antenna, and these antennas. You go to any place like ham radio outlet, you can get all sorts of antennas to extend the range. Bigger antenna work better. You got the earpiece and microphone combination, and you got the user's manual, which also tells you all you need to do is you have your UBS plug, so you can program other channels in there on your from your computer.
All right. So before anybody wonders, why would you want to get such a large kit? If you have a group that you're working with, or if you have, in proper practice, you would have a group that you would meet with at least once a year, so everybody can, talk and meet and get together and, make sure your guys' plans are still active. Look, we're poop hits the oscillating device, then we're all going to meet here. Everybody would have one of these radios, and you would set up places where you guys could check in, and everybody'd still be able to communicate. If you were traveling down the road, you'd be able to talk to each other. Hey, car 4 has got an issue, and then everybody could pull over and people don't get left behind. This would be for people who have large groups that plan on meeting up should something hit the oscillating device.
Yeah. Or if you have like a dairy or a farm, or you got multiple employees out there running around, someone's bound to drop one in the cow poo. That way, $8. All right, yeah. If you clean it off and it works fine, if you clean it off, it doesn't work. Okay, let's grab another one out of the stores. All right, so the big question is to maintain is: can you hear me now? For whether it's at work, on your if you have a business where people need to be there, or on your homestead. Now, one of the things interesting I just want to point out here. All right, so I have the one house here I'm in, the 1 acre. Across the street, my daughter is there with her kids on that 5 acres. My nephew is looking at another place here in town, a couple blocks away. If he gets that, then, so we got family that'll be in multiple places, and this is a way we can keep in touch with each other. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, so now I'm going to add up here what Dave put up here, wanted me to put up, because that was the last slide for me.
This is similar to the Tenma, but this is a satellite communicator. This is global. So if you want to reach somebody in New York and you're in California, not a problem. If somebody's down in Florida and you're in Washington State or up in, say, British Columbia, not a problem. These work via satellite. Now, if we have an EMP, massive EMP, or a CME, these may fail, but so would virtually everything else on here anyway, so that's a mute point.
Oh,
But I think these are better, personally, and trust me, if I could find a way to do it, I would get 2 of these. I'd send one to Gil, and we'd put it in practice, and we'd make a video about it.
right. Dave, I have a question on those. Those are voice or is it text only?
It looks like text and email.
Yep. Which, that's all you need.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you got a burner phone and you got to go. See, I got to push the A button 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a C.
Froze.
Well, because you keep freezing, it's not going to be an issue. I'd be able to type all in before you could read it.
All right, and there's the link that Kathy put in there for it, folks. So there's
Thank
your
you,
link
Kathy.
for it. And so before I go anything further, excuse me, folks,
And while he does that, any solution that's like this, be it the Tenma mesh or the Zello satellite communicator, anything like that is going to be around $200. Anything that's worth its weight is going to be semi-expensive because it's utilizing good technology. If you buy something that's dirt cheap, don't expect it to work. You know, when it comes to electronics, most electronics, you get what you pay for. You want something to last you 25, 30 years, you're going to pay a few dollars for it.
Okay. Just hopping on here real quick. So Cabela's has it for the same price. Sportsman's Guide has it for the same price. Walmart. No, that's a different one. That's not it. That's the Garmin version of it. Yeah. So there's a. Yeah. All right. There it is. A bunch of them there. So yeah, there's some other places just besides Amazon, and they all seem to be the same price. So REI is
Hey, Tennessee.
REI is 5 cents more, and actually Sportsman Guide is 95 cents cheaper. So it's all within the same thing. So if you have one right down the street, you want to run, get it, check it out before you actually pay for it.
And there are videos on YouTube on it. That's the reason I found it, and I like its basic principle. And if I could swing it, I would buy 2 just to put it in practice to see how well it actually worked.
Yeah, but at $200, that's just for one.
Right.
Right.
But I'd still do it because
Yeah.
it's an option. It's it's a backup plan. If you got people in several different parts of the country all trying to converge on one area, this is one way for everybody to communicate.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm going to put that under tactical. On here. Come on.
You said tactical. Did you see Tennessee Tactical said hello to you? No, you didn't.
Hey, Tennessee Tactical. Okay, let me put this into my tactical folder. Boom, on my wish list. Yeah. So yeah, I have a wish list called Tactical on Amazon. So everything in there is on Amazon. All right. So that's that sounds as another cool. It sounds really interesting. So, okay, back to can look at ATACs too.
ATACs.
ATACs. What is? I may be dumb here. ATAC. What's an ATAC? ATAC. Aviation Airborne Tactical Advantage Company. That's automated tracking attack communicator. James Bond. All righty. It's a cell phone version of GPS marking and okay. Cool. Learn something new every day. If you don't learn something new, you're not paying attention.
Right. Tennessee said he had 4 of those 88 STs he's tested.
Cool. Clear as a bell. All right.
You know, for Baofeng, being as cheap as they are, especially with what some of their more high-powered radios put out, they do a respectable job, which is why some places here in the U.S. have tried to make them illegal as all heck. Because what I have is an 8-watt radio. You're only supposed to have 4-watt or 5-watt. I don't remember which now, but It's been a minute since I looked. But it's slightly higher powered, and I keep mine set on the low setting when I'm listening, just in case I accidentally hit the wrong button. It doesn't, get me in trouble. There is a high-low setting on the 8-watt radios.
Yeah. It froze. And I know that with certain frequencies and stuff, the government is trying to limit wattage use on it. And that's usually for the ham radios and the 440 frequencies. They've shut down most of the repeaters in California because that's where the satellite tracking station is that tracks all the debris, all the nuts and bolts and pieces floating around. And if you hit 20 watts on the 440, it screws it up. And they come knocking on your door telling you not to do that again.
No, they don't knock on your door anymore. They just show up and throw you in cuffs.
Right. I can't make it out.
Red Burning Fires, good evening.
Hey. All righty. So does anybody have any other radios, communication ways, preferences besides semaphore out there, waving flags around trying to communicate across the farm fields or something like that?
If you guys want to see a way to put a extra antenna up so you can reach and listen further, go check out Ms. Nina at Discover Sustainables, and she shows you how to install an antenna. And of course, Backwoods Law also has some information on that kind of stuff. He's fairly well read at it. And the other channel I will recommend is Survival Comms. He is the most knowledgeable person I know about it. He has lots of videos for those who don't know or understand a lot of it. He actually goes over a lot of it. Yes, topography is everything when it comes to radio signals. Yeah, most radios are line of sight unless you have a really tall antenna getting over top of the top hill.
Or if you have a long enough line, Dave knows what I'm talking about, and a helium balloon, you could do that.
Yeah, and you have you're getting into repeaters and stuff. There are repeaters for GMRS radios.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set up one of those, and you can expand your footprint for your GMRS radios beyond line of sight. One of the interesting things, though, with the FRS GMRS handheld radios you get from Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart and stuff, if you're in a old residential neighborhood with a lot of big trees, you're lucky to get communications a couple blocks away. Because the communications was just, for GMRS radios being as weak wattage put out, for the GMRS FRS radios, it's like, and all that, trees, buildings, and everything just kind of stops it.
Yeah, there's a link to Brett's channel, Survival Comms. If you're interested in anything radio, please go check out his channel. I am subscribed, but I haven't gotten any notifications, so I probably should go check, see if he's put anything out recently. But that would be my first go-to as far as information on anything communications related. Yep, Iridium 242 has also a video or two on antennas, so you can go check that out too.
All right, they YouTube unsubscribed me from Survival Comms.
Yeah, they're doing that to everybody. They hit these poor little girls. Let me get my shirt out.
Yeah, they took me off of China in Focus, DW, all the news channels I was subscribed to, I got unsubscribed.
They block and unsubscribe Vineyard Chicks from all our channels. So I was working to resubscribe to everybody. It's loads of fun when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your his playlist, and so but his last video he put out was 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if you got that video or not, Dave.
Nope, I'll have to go check.
All right. So there's the Survival Comms YouTube channel. Iridium. Let me throw that one up there since we got time. IR, in case anybody wants to know what it looks like.
Yeah, that's George's channel. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Carol, you have a point.
I think this is him. It's the only one.
Problem is, Carol, the people that are buying subs are the ones putting out stupid cat videos.
Yep. Or
So
that
they can get away with
naked lady gardening. She had like this morning 5,000 hits. I got like, how many did I get on my my backyard patio? Oh, less than 100.
Mm-hmm. And his playlist here. Oh, he goes to SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Prepping, projects, SHOT Show, 17, 18. Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's got quite a few videos.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he's actually reviewed some things that I've actually had to go out and buy and review myself.
All right, so over 15 minutes early. I covered everything I wanted to cover. I don't want to just cut it off here unless if people want to keep going. Gail Southern Living, hello.
Hi, Gail.
Yeah. So as far as comms go, it's I was going to bring it in here. I guess I should have out of the cargo container. I got one of those gray little totes with the folding lids that interlock. You can get at Home Depot and stuff. It's full of FRS GMRS radios, including some that a lot of people don't know about. I got 4 sets of the FRS GMRS radios that do frequency hopping, basically scrambled. So basically the 20 some odd or 26 frequencies that are your channel supposed to be using is now gives you an option of over 10,000 choices because of the way it programs to communicate.
Now, folks, if you want the fringe communication, you could always put in your own landline and have a little crank and talk to people.
You can buy the old military equipment to set that up.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you stop at some Army surplus stores, you can buy the old crank phones, and you can set up your own landline system. It's not that hard.
Dave, you want me to add that?
Sure. Okay, for those wondering what the radio I was talking about, the RCI Rangers 2970 and 2950. These are high-powered radios, and they cover a lot of frequencies. And if you know what you're doing, excuse me, sorry, you can upgrade it yourself or have somebody upgrade it for you. There's also inside these radios, even though nobody will show it on here because it's kind of a no-no, so I'm not telling you about it. But inside these radios, there is a spot. It looks like 2 forks in one spot of the board and then 2 forks coming up from another spot. It is a place for a bar that goes in there that allows it to jump from this set of standard frequencies into a much larger range of frequencies. I'm not telling you how to do it or where to put it, just mentioning that it could possibly be done. They are not a cheap radio, but they will do you everything you need to be done.
All right. I was just trying to look through something, see if I could find stuff that I did years ago. It's not showing up. Basically, years ago when I was working for a construction company, we were doing a bore under the city of Walnut Creek in California. And it was a mile-and-a-half bore where we were putting in 88-inch water lines, steel lines, and we were boring and pushing it in. And they want to be able to communicate. The radio stuff they were trying to communicate wouldn't work down there because all the interference and everything just kind of killed. I got sprinkler wire, not phone wire, sprinkler wire, two wire, and I took two phones, regular hand phones and stuff, took the stuff apart a little bit, installed 9-volt batteries on it, hooked it up, and put a cone thing on it so that it go beep, beep when you pushed on it, and they got to pick up and you guys could talk. No hand crank. Each phone had a 9-volt battery in it. And I actually found out how to do that on a...
Froze.
I found out how to
do that on an iceberg? You can do that on icebergs?
Oh, yeah.
So it had to be done on an iceberg.
Yeah. I found out it wasn't on YouTube, wasn't out then back then. There was I forget what it was, but someone putting out all these manuals on how to do stuff. I just downloaded it, okay, put it together, and boom, there it was. But yeah, so you can order off Amazon a cheap, pair of Princess Streamline phones, and you can hook up and have your own phone-to-phone landline intercom.
If you can find it on Surplus, they used to have the lineman's phone. If anybody remembers those,
yeah,
those work really good.
Yeah, if you get those, those are all already pre-set up, ready to go. All you just need is a little extra power source for the line.
Yep.
But and like I said, 9-volt battery is what worked.
Another fringe.
Tennessee calls it a butt set.
Yep. Another fringe element that everybody forgot during the 1870s, and you couldn't have telegraph. They had heliograph. And people are looking at me, how old is Uncle Al? Real old, folks.
He's got dinosaur poop on his shoes. Give him a break.
Heliograph was a mirror, and it had a, whatchamacallit, like Morse code, a clicker and a lever.
Uh-huh.
So you could send flashes of light, sunlight, to one point to another point, and you communicated back and forth. Unfortunately, Indians figured this out, and they used hand mirrors to intercept the messages and says, no, we're not really here. Go that way.
Backwoods put up a good bit of information, too.
Yeah. That's why build your own antennas. Search for Dave Tadlock. He's an extra class ham that has, yeah. Okay. Where is it here? I got to add that back in. Boom. That's what we're talking about. What they said that's what's called a butt set.
Yep.
And so and you can pick one up. Wow, Lowe's has it for $119, free shipping. So yeah, you can still get these. You can probably pick them up at garage sales too if you get lucky. Find one or find someone that's retiring and whatever. Yeah.
Could you drop this link in the chat for everybody, please?
All righty. Control C, get the right one. There we go.
And I've put it up here for you to visually share. This is who Backwoods was talking about, Dave Tadlock. So if you want to go check out how to build the stuff.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting is the 2-meter 440 J pole for ham radio actually worked for when one of the guys was hooking up that antenna for his GMRS base station.
So if you want to learn more about radio stuff, check out Survival Comms, check out ZZ's Workbench. Do yourself a favor. Get a little bit of knowledge going.
Yeah.
You'll be thankful in the end. The more knowledge you have means it's less you got to rely on somebody else.
Okay. Before we get done here, I need everybody else's help on this one here.
Okay.
Especially the homesteaders that have tractors. You can either type it in the chat here, or you can quickly here, or just email me down below. What attachments do you have for your tractors? Because that's what we're going to be talking about next Friday. There's attachments for tractors, or attachment implements, attachments, whatever you want to call it. The things you put on 3-point hitches, interchange buckets, snow plows, forks, sickle bar, whatever it is you have. Let me know. No, Built on the Rock used to work in Walnut Creek. And I'm sorry, Walnut Creek was I used to go to the movie theaters over in Walnut Creek all the time.
I was giggling at Carol.
And so if you can tell me what sort of implements and stuff I should get pictures of, and if anybody wants to join us up and talk about implements and the problems and the benefits and anything about it, let me know, and I can send you the link so you can come on up here too. All you need is a webcam with built-in microphone, and we're good to go.
Oh, WD, who was here earlier, he was buying a new Kubota tractor, I think.
Yes, yeah. He was waiting for him to finish doing the assembly and delivery. He should have gotten it this week.
Now, something happened to the front with the hydraulics.
Steering. It's nothing to do with the steering cylinder on a Kubota.
We all know that.
Oh, hush. I like my Kubota equipment.
And Ryan's back. So so next Friday, it's going to be what tractor attachments, implements do you need? Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping, it's going to be, are you active in your local government? We're going to have just kind of a simple chit chat about why preppers should be involved in their local government, both city and county.
Don't forget schools and churches.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to get involved with the community, and what you should be doing anyway. So that's what's coming up on Tuesday. And Dave,
Less than lethal.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. After twisting my neck last week, I wasn't able to do much. I actually had to go to the hospital because it was so bad.
All right. And as a side note to that, with another video that was out today about less than lethal, whatever you're using for less than lethal stuff for protecting your home, check local laws first, because some things might be legal in one state, but you go to California, it's a felony.
Let's put it this way. Everybody keeps talking bear spray or bee spray. In some states, using that in self-defense will land you into jail faster than the person breaking into your house.
Right.
Yeah.
So before you decide to use something, make sure you can. Don't just say, oh, I've seen it on YouTube and I use bear spray because they scared me. You'll be in jail.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
folks, you have to be careful if they say you could use a bullwhip for self-defense or non-lethal defense. I use bullwhips on cattle herding. Do not use this on human people because I pop snakes' heads off it. End of a bullwhip will go as fast as a 22, and I have a lead on mine.
The crack you hear is the actual fact that it is breaking the sound barrier.
Yeah.
That is why you hear a crack from a bullwhip. It broke the sound barrier, which is 1,200 feet per second.
Yeah.
And when I use a bullwhip, I never touch the animal because if you do, you leave a gash size of.
Yeah.
My nephew did that.
And then you'll have
until-
PETA knocking on your door.
No, you have the vet bill coming to you. I'm like, I'm going to kill that Harvard-raised idiot.
All right, the excuses are hitting here on the side in the chat here. I was just spraying down the nest and I was startled by the person coming up and attacking me.
Yeah, tell that to your defense lawyer.
No.
Yeah, but
Doesn't work. It's been tried.
Yeah, well, some of the things they were talking about was the use of tasers. Tasers is law enforcement only, except for with the exception
there's a definition.
2 states.
There's a definition because see, here in the state of Ohio, I can carry this.
That's a stun gun. Yeah, that's a stun gun. A taser.
No, it's not a stun gun. It's considered a taser in the state of Ohio because it doesn't shoot projectiles. Every state has it listed a little differently. So before you go out and buy one, make sure what you're buying is legal in your state. Because now I could have bought the one that actually shot the probes out. That's a no-no in this state.
Yeah, that is technically, and even what the states call are name and stuff. The name taser is registered trademark, and it's what shoots the probes. So that is the only thing that is truly a taser. Everything else that you got to make personal contact.
Froze.
I shocked myself there. It is classified as a stun gun, even though some states try to switch it around. No,
right.
Taser shoots, a stun gun doesn't. It's an oxymoron.
Well, most of the government people are morons. I mean,
yeah, it's all right. It's fine. Anyway, folks, like I said, do your
due diligence.
Due diligence, do your homework, check on the laws. If you carry more than the little keychain size of pepper spray, you better have, like Uncle Alan has, a license and took the course. Because anything other than what's prescribed by law, pepper spray, if it's in a bigger amount, you need the license. This covers tear gas, CS, CN.
Yeah, they're all different. Yeah,
they're all different.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, just to remember on your tear gases, what there's mace and club. Mace was CN,
right?
Club was a mixture of CN and CS. CN, cry now. You get sprayed with it, instant crying, and then the effects taper off. CS is a long chemical name, but we call it in law enforcement, we call that chicken shit. Because it was chicken shit to use that on somebody. It was, you spray them with them and like, what the heck was that? I'm going to, bam, it hit him a couple seconds and they were down on the ground crying. It was bad. And the other one is DM, which we refer to as damn messy. It's military. And the reason it's called damn messy, when you get hit with that, you secrete fluids from every orifice of your body.
Right. It's the old choke and puke gases that's been modified for police use. Now, folks, you have to be careful. During the riots last year, a lot of people were spraying each other with all sorts of different noxious chemicals. And afterwards, some of them got arrested because they weren't carrying the right permits and they were using the wrong sprays. So a lot of them went to jail.
Yeah. So when we get on Dave's next Tuesday for Less Than Lethal,
it will be fun, I'm sure.
It'll be fun. I think he was aiming more for the other stuff, not covering the whole spectrum. Were you, or were you covering?
Well, I plan on touching at least a lot of it.
Okay. So there's like I said, and that's the problem. We got 50 states, which means you have
75 different laws.
Yes, exact interpretations of stuff, and then you have this. Then you have the circuit courts of appeal, which gives you 2,000 different interpretations.
And then if you decide to cross a state line while traveling and you're carrying it in one state, guess what? The other state might not like the idea of the fact that you have it in the first place. Right. So don't try driving from, say, Ohio to Illinois or Missouri going through Illinois, carrying said tasing item. I could get in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because Illinois says, no, you can't have those. Or at least last time I checked.
Yeah. So yeah, in some places you can't have it unless you have taken a class and you've gotten the card. I know in
Or our
California,
former Leo.
yeah, and I know in California for a baton, you have to, before you can get the baton card, you have to get the guard card first. Then you get the baton card or firearm card for the
Pistol.
security. But yeah, you can't just have a baton in California. You need to have a card. So, anyways, that's what's coming up here in the next next week and everything. So it's going to be an interesting week next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'll be
Kathy, you're
doing
right.
shout outs. So please check out Dave's channel and please sign up for Discord for Dave's PDFs. I've been yelling this for a long time. So go help out Dave. Go check out his stuff.
Help out yourself. Check out Dave's stuff, this Discord channel. That's what it's there for, is to help you out. All righty. So we're going to wrap this up here now. I want to thank everybody that came in here and chatted on the side chat and provided information.
I'm not sure on that, Kaylin. I think there is a certain, I don't know if Cali restricts the BB stuff, but
BB guns and pellet guns, no. But counties and cities have a plethora of laws that just about every city in California, you cannot shoot a BB gun or pellet gun within city limits.
right.
Counties have, when they have unincorporated towns or whatever.
Froze again.
Yeah, depending on the county, some of them will say, "Oh no, you can't even though it's not incorporated." Others say, "Doesn't matter if it's not in a city, you can plink so long as you're being safe about it." And that's another thing they stick you on, being unsafe. All right, so with that, everyone, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared, plant something. If you don't believe planting stuff is fairly easy, take a look what happened with the Swiss chard I grew. Oh boy. All righty. See you guys later.